Happy birthday, Palooza! It is, I don't even know what day, and we just saw the mailman run past because it's super raining outside right now. We're in the midst of a pretty bad storm system coming through. It's Thursday, June 20th. That's what it is. Thursday, June 20th. It was just really windy out, but it seems like the wind is passing. And now it's just, up there goes the wind again a little bit. But we have threats of tornadoes and hail and strong winds and all that kind of stuff today. So we had another really bad storm come through last night. So lots happening this week in the world of storms. And that's one reason why I haven't been on much lately. But I thought I'd start here in the dining room and give you a garden update. So here is my garden update. My orchid that we repotted in the early spring, I think February, is doing much better. It's very green, and we have lots of new growth coming, and lots of really nice healthy growth coming, as well as nice strong leaves. So I'm very pleased with how that's going. It's probably going to go over to the sink today for a nice soaking. And we'll sit in the sink and get a really nice soaking bath today. Down here we have one of my Christmas cactuses and my Easter cactus. The remaining flowers that were on here at Easter time are now, there's just a couple left over, but you can see there's a lot of new growth coming on here. All these light colored leaves are all new growth. So that is doing nice and well in the new pot that I placed it in. This is my friend's Christmas cactus that he bought a few years ago. It wasn't doing well at his house, so I went ahead and brought it back here, repotted it, put new soil in the pot, and it is doing much better now. You can see all the new growth that is coming on there now. So I'm very pleased with how that's starting to look. A couple flowers from graduations and prom this year that I picked up at school. So, you know, they're just hanging out there. Shocker, they're yellow. And then up here, we have my cacti. This is a new one that I recently got. This is a String of Pearls, I believe is what it's called. I've had this one for a while, since Christmas time. And I just got this one. This is I believe it's called a pagoda cactus because the leaves look like pagodas. And I'm very pleased with how my orchid here is starting to look. This one has not bloomed yet. I'm really hoping it throws out a new shoot this year. You can see there is new root growth here, as well as we now have a new leaf, which I have not had new leaf on this one for quite a while, so I'm very pleased with how that's starting to look now that I've repotted that in this pot this year. And I just saw some lightning. There we go. You can see some dark clouds rolling in. Nice and dark and happy looking. Love storms like this, especially during the day when I can be in the house and relax. This one is still blooming from Christmas time. I'm surprised how long it's blooming, and on top of that, we're getting some new growth. So I was concerned that this one was on its way out because the leaves were not looking that great. It was starting to yellow, but now we're getting some new growth, and I think somewhere, yep, we have a new root right here. So very pleased with how that one's looking. Once these are all done blooming, I'm probably going to repot it in the same pot. Just go ahead and make sure that everything looks good, and put it a little bit deeper down into the pot so that all this is down in a little bit farther, and make sure that there's no root rot. We have my ficus going nice and strong. Very much happy with how this is looking now that I have it in a good spot that it's happy with. And this orchid in the back here is one I got at, I think it was over spring break. So right after Easter, I picked it up. I was concerned that I was going to lose it because I had to cut off every single root whenever I repotted it because everything was dying on it. But now that it is repotted in healthier, drier medium, the bark. It is doing nice and very, very well. And you can see we have lots of new growth here on this shoot here. So very pleased with that. This is a new Christmas cactus that I just recently got in the mail from Amazon. This is a yellow Christmas cactus. I never knew that Christmas cactuses came in yellow, so I'm going to be really excited to see this one bloom. Lots of new growth since I got it. You can see all the new growth. These are all new leaves since I picked it up, and it came in early May, I think. So I went ahead and repotted it in a nice pot. Here is my Australian brush cherry. This is the bonsai that I picked up at the flower show this year. Doing really well. I just pruned back some of the branches to make sure that it starts to fill in on some of the branches that don't have a lot of leaves. So that's doing really well. And of course I have my mammoth Christmas cactus there. And that continues to grow massive, new growth, lots of potential. Can't wait to see that one bloom this year. And as you can see, I have some new air plants. So if you remember this one, I got this one at Christmas time. It is doing nice and very well. Lots of new growth on it. As well as this one is the exact same air plant that I got at Christmas time. This is my friend's from work. It was not doing well at work, so I brought it home to give it some TRL, Tender Love and Care, TLR, TLC, that's it, TLC, Tender Love and Care. And it's perking back up nicely. We got some new growth coming there since it came home. This is a new one. It's a peach something. I forget what it's called. It has some new growth. Whenever I water it, the leaves turn a little bit of a peach color. I have this one over here, which actually has a baby on the side, which I'm excited about. So you can see the small one there. It came with that whenever I purchased it, so that's really exciting. And then the one I'm really excited about right here, oh, I forgot to mention, the one that I got at Christmas time is now producing a baby, an offspring to the side here. So I will be excited to see how that grows, and then eventually I'll be able to cut that off and I'll have a brand new air plant. But the one that I'm really excited about that came, it was not blooming or getting ready to bloom when I first got it, but since I purchased it and it came in the mail, this is called a Green Goddess air plant. And it's about ready to bloom. So we are on bloom watch for the air plant. I'm really excited to see what it's going to look like when it blooms. I do not know what it's going to look like when it blooms, but this is going to be really exciting to see what it looks like. I'm kind of hoping it blooms, it opens up on my birthday, which will be Monday. So we will have to wait and see what that looks like. So that is really exciting there. On a side note, over here on my dining room table, I am doing a new experiment in semi-hydroponics. So this is a part of my orchid from the large orchid right there. I went ahead and broke off, and I am attempting to do some semi-hydroponics. So this is my first attempt. So far it seems to be doing well. It's been in the semi-hydroponics container for about 2 weeks now, I think. I need to do a flushing because you can see the sodium buildup here on the clay pebbles that is building up, so I'm going to have to flush that out. I'll probably do that today since I have some free time, and that will be, I'm hoping that that takes off and does really well. I would love to see this orchid bloom again. So that is my garden update. So as you can see, I'm growing beyond what I have room for. I'm gonna have to find some more space or stop buying plants. But you know, I can't help it whenever I see a plant that I really like. Oh, and I forgot to tell you about this one back here. This is my new Hoya rope or Hoya plant. And it's a vine, and this is all from here up is all new growth since I purchased it. I'm eventually going to have to repot it, I believe, because when it came looking like in this green potter's or flower, you know what I mean. So I will eventually have to put it in dirt, but for now it is doing really well, so I don't really want to stunt it, so I'll just leave it there for now. But that is my Hoya rope. Okay, let me turn this off and we'll talk stitching. Hi Yins. It's been a while. So real quick, I wanted to mention about the planets that I stitched a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. I think I stitched these in 2017. 2017. These are, I had a request to see them again. It is the entire set of the planets. I'm getting glare from the camera and the lens there. There they are. This is the entire set of the planets, including Pluto, which some will say is a planet and some will say is not a planet. You decide. It's the entire set of the planets. I stitched these on 28 count or 27 count black even weave. And they are a pattern that you can purchase on Etsy from Stem Stitch, S-T-E-M Stitch. So there they are, the patterns, the planets from Etsy, Stem Stitch. I have them framed all together. This is all I bought these frames at Joann Fabrics, and I framed them myself. And I'm really pleased with that. They're in my entryway here at my apartment. So how have you been? It's been a while. It's been almost 2 weeks since we've chatted. I know it's BirthdayPalooza, and I haven't been very good about the daily check-ins. And that's because I've been super busy. Work has been extremely busy. Good, very good, but very busy and exhausting. But also, it's getting really dark out. I don't know if you can see it. No, you can't see it. It's getting really dark out because of the storm, but kind of ominous looking. Anyways, work has been extremely busy, but I also haven't been feeling that great because of all these crazy storms coming through. I've had a lot of migraines, so I haven't really been in the mood or the motivation or the energy or the feeling comfortable to film. So I just haven't been doing that. So when I'm able to, I've been stitching and watching a lot of TV. But I have been stitching. I did very, very little knitting, so I'm not even going to show you that since I've knitted. I did put maybe like 2 rows of stitches in my sock, and then I fell asleep one day. So that didn't happen. Other than that, I have not done any knitting. But I have been doing a lot of stitching, and I've been doing a lot of monogamous stitching on one project. And so I have been working on my By the Bay 13th Bay Colony, part 3, because I want to get this done. And it's going super easy, and it's a fun stitch. It's a fun project to stitch, and so that's what I've been stitching. So let me turn the camera around, and I will show you what I got done. And here it is. So I think maybe since I showed you last, I had the first color of the bottom done, and these 3 bushes, and maybe this green here. And since then, I've gone to town, and I basically completed all of the brown and water on the left side of the tree, which is the center of. So I've done everything on this side of the tree, except for the little stuff. So the ship, the house, and the trees. And that's what I'm going to work on today. So I'm going to continue working on and trying to get everything done on this side of the tree. And then I will put in the tree, do the entire tree, and then I will do the other side of the piece. So going extremely well, very pleased with how this is turning out, and I'm looking forward to getting it done. So that's 13th Bay Colony, part 3. Over here you can see part of part 2, as I've showed in other videos, and I'm doing it all in one panoramic portrait. So anyways, that is what I'm going to be working on the rest of the day. It is just after 3 o'clock, maybe 3:30 in the afternoon here on Thursday. I am now off through the end of June. I go back to work on July 1st, so I have lots and lots of stitching time. I also have some chores I need to get done around the house. Because since I haven't been feeling well, those have been neglected. So I will be getting those done over the next week as well. But I'm excited to have lots of time for stitching and crafting. So stitching and knitting, and we'll see what else I get into. Hopefully, and I'm not going to make any promises, but fingers crossed, I will have a video every day the rest of the month, because it is Birthday Palooza. I hope you are all doing well, and tomorrow I will have some other little things to throw into the video, but it's already been long enough as it is, since it's been a while since I've checked in with you. So I hope you're all doing well. I am on the mend, and I'm looking forward to sitting here the rest of the day and stitching and enjoying looking, and I keep looking because I'm excited about just watching the storm roll through and just watching the storms come through town. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit here, stitch, and watch the storms. So I hope you all have a wonderful night. Happy stitching, and I will see you on the next day of Birthday Palooza, day 21. Happy first day of summer, or first day of winter if you're in the southern hemisphere. Tomorrow will be the first day of summer, I believe, in North America. And even though it's already been summer weather here for quite a few weeks, my air conditioning has been running non-stop. But that's all right, because I love the heat. And I'm loving these storms we're getting so much, other than they mess with my head. But I can deal with that because I love the storms. So happy Birthday Palooza, happy Thursday, glad I'm back, and I will see you all tomorrow. And don't forget to always be creative.